thing on my face.
Snack? Probably do video camera. This is how just me. I know, I never did. It's not on. Turn it around. We say you wanted to be in the camera.
Okay, you
No, we can stand it up.
Okay, just bring a sheet of paper over here and work with them if you can. Oh, yeah. Okay, how about you guys? Okay, good.
These are this is where the girls from 6-hour body
Yeah, you can do that. There's stripes too. They're already divided up.
Holy cow, Jerry's on TV.
No, they weren't on it.
Do I look alright? Jerry, smile. Smile, big boy. Oh, I sort these out.
Hey, do you have a fish? This one. Yeah, but that ain't cool.
I want two more. I give them all the shells I have.
Which one? Who?
1, 2, 3. We got 3. We got 4. We got 2.
Here's a ruler. You want a ruler? Oh, you want a ruler?
There's too many.
She doesn't want to be recorded.
Would you turn that thing off?
Okay,
There's people in here that don't want to be recorded.
I know, I don't like this. What color, which ones do you think you want to do?
We're gonna do this one.
Okay, you can try to go around. Get on paper and get going.
What were those guys reading?
Okay, Jenny, come on. Let's come back over here.
How many do we need of these?
Well, I like quiet.
Ain't nobody gonna buy it.
Can we use these?
3.
Hey, let's
This guy's a convicted felon.
Okay, let's get started. What do we do about your what? All right, we can just do it on there and staple them together.
Do your thing. It's hard.
Stripes.
Just agree. It's not my fault.
If she doesn't want to be, if she doesn't want to take
I'm
it,
camera shy.
yes, go on to somebody else. Try to have at least 5 categories if you can. Like measurement 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. Okay, and then no, you can't train if you don't turn it.
What is she doing back?
On your screen, and you may want to move them out of the way so you can see what you're working on, see the page you're working on, because this can do several layers of things at the same time. Okay, so here is what is inside this particular disc. And if you'll notice over here on the left
There you go. Alright, I was like sitting right here, and you came in and you're just like holding at this video too and saying, I got it, I got it. I'm like, okay, and you're just like trying to find a VCR or something, and that was pretty much it.
I don't know where will be set up because the
Yeah. You can stop videotaping now.
There's Mrs. Winningham.
is your senior photos here, and they should be back 1, 2, 3. Back here, maybe. They should be back here so we can distribute them.
Got my video yet?
Huh?
Got my video?
Not yet.
You never did video, man.
On Monday?
I don't know.
Can I please have it on Monday?
There will be no video.
And the classroom takes us video. See that one page at the end of each section? You can text us there. And you can just go in and in. Now, remember, that's where we got the workshop.
What's this right here?
Last day.
Oh, you need to sign that? That's all right.
You know what? I'm going to be a senior.
Exactly. Jennifer, did you sign the
No.
Shane? Hi, Shane.
Hello.
I don't know. It depends on you got your little friend.
Keep me getting shit
Love
right
your
now, too.
signature.
I need to have everybody's out.
Illusion.
What?
Phone is free. I go use it.
Don't come out here, he's recording.
Calm down, you guys. It's got to be the main table. Because it's steadier. Okay, is that good? I didn't do that.
This is where I lay your
How do we not hold this? Put that under there.
No, that's not going to help.
That hurt. Like what?
How about your finger?
We're painting it for the sign. We ain't painting that. Oh shit. Now what you putting this on? I would like to know. That's the video yearbook, huh?
Yep.
That's okay. So that means they can hear us, huh? Yeah, I would imagine so. So I guess I can't say bad words, huh? Only if you want to get cut out. No, I want to stay in. Me big good.
Mouth watering.
Hey, keep looking at our rice, man.
But then you're just going to be on top of it.
Guys, using the beams and all of the stuff to set up. Set up an assembly line so you'd have plates on one end, the rice and beans, and then the tamales, and then the cash box.
Cash box. Yeah. We're talking some money here. Get the camera.
She's hungry.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's upside down.
Well, man, stand on your head and then photocopy it. Then you count it. Did it work that way?
Oh yeah.
We have a 32-ounce drink.
No, you
super size, large.
I have big sign things. Where's the address? Did you give it to him?
25. Tamale, rice, beans, and
Oh, you
pop.
have an address.
I'm just tamale and rice. Huh? I'm just tamale and rice and a soda. 25.
Christine! She's going to... She's not here. Okay, you guys. We will get good holding it, but not for long.
You want another one? Alright, give her one. She said one per person, but if someone's gonna like touch everything, you just want one and one another one. Don't make them up until we have
There's people over here.
Wait, what kind of soda do you want? Or, you know, cola. We're going to get in trouble or anything. Hey, could someone give me that soda? Even if they were, you know. Okay, see you later. Bye.
2 tamales, 2 dinners, that's $5.
Just one. I'm not having this one. What do you want it for? I'm gonna eat it. No, I'm not gonna eat it.
Santa? Where?
Oh no,
I don't want it.
you don't want one? You bought 2, here's your second one.
No, she's not gonna take it.
Well, it's
Did I only give you $1? Oh, I thought I gave you the... Sorry.
You get tamale and soda? When you bring some more tamales out here.
tamale, rice,
Get just a tamale and soda?
Wait, hold on.
Lynette, can you, Lynette, you want to get...
I want to get my RN. What's wrong with you? You'll have to wait till
Very good.
Okay.
$5.
Okay. Okay, I'll be
Okay, how about carry through that?
Well, they said soda pop you get with
Okay,
it.
guys, thanks.
Do we get soda pop with it? See, it's right there.
There's a line right here. Where's the line?
One? 2 of them. Okay.
Uh-oh, you finna get your... Pull out your shirt, girl. Pull out your shirt. Leave right up.
He looks like Ace Ventura in slow motion.
What are you doing, dude? Take the bullet, Alberto. And we're on camera, guys.
RSQ! RSQ!
Spec one.
Neighborhood.
Okay, Connor.
Spec rock.
Go, Terry. Don't hit me. Terry on camera, so do this. Come on, Terry. Terry, together now. Move back.
Hi, Clark.
That sounds like a guy. Sounds like a guy, man. I'm gonna go out.
What the fuck?
I thought this video yearbook thing was gonna like.
Is that shit recording? Get all up in there. He's skipping turn. He's skipping turn. Is you for real? I'm skipping turns. Man, yeah, you was skipping turns. You grabbed some all out here. How you you have no sense, Dominique. If your partner serving, you go behind the line. You ain't got no sense. But I already went. If your partner serving, man, it was back behind the line. That's y'all fault. Y'all don't know what y'all was doing. Coach.
Coach, let me explain. See, what happens when your partner serves, you got to come back here. You want your partner to serve. You don't want them to serve because they can get points. Go get the ball. Good.
Man, come on, Dominic.
Maybe a better game. It's out of here. Go, Cliff.
Half the crowd's missing.
Who's the ambulance?
Where's the best light?
Burritos? What happened?
Does that make sense to you?
No, I don't know about
Well, okay, so let's like hop over.
Are you sure this is how Steven Spielberg got started? Not blowing my nose, Shay.
So you want to get your... Alright, that's not going to be too late. For many people. Okay? And you might want to talk to someone if there is anyone there, because they already had
Doesn't matter either. If not,
finals and everybody's out of it. You always have your
catch me doing something active.
So if my computer won't connect to anything now, just like the one the other day, it's like,
Well, we're not. She's taking me moving off. I'm trying to. Sean, take me being busy.
she went out.
Esa no problema porque por culpa de ella yo perdí todo el año. Para que lo último me hicieran.
Knock knock.
What are you filming for?
Video yearbook.
Video yearbook.
Yep.
It's called Smell the Roses. Do we have sound on that too?
Yes, we do.
The video yearbook, that's a great idea. Can we put an advertisement plug in here for it? How much does it cost?
$11.
$11. And you're going around getting all the counselors and as many teachers in classrooms as you can?
Mm-hmm.
Great. And this is going to be what, a 60-minute?
Classroom, why are you videotaping me? Is it any tape in there? May I speak to Sheila, please? Ms. Fuller? It's no tape in there, is it? Why, are you taping me for something?
Video yearbook.
Video yearbook? Oh, okay, so you're gonna... Dude, quit. Just get it out of here. More than
Hey, man, what's up? Oh, yeah. You're not gonna feel that, are you? Fucking, yeah. Jesus Christ. What are you doing here? Get the thing out of my face.
Written by Charles A. Cross, who lived through the massacre. And it happened in November of 1978. And he was a reporter for the Los Angeles Post. And he went to Guyana with Congressman Leo Ryan from California. And all the people in California wanted their family to come home. So they went there to try to convince them. And in Guyana, there's a town called Jonestown, where Jim Jones started a cult. And he had over 900 followers that believed he was God. And they do anything he asked. And the people were of all races. And they sold all their stuff and gave him the money so they could start the town. And it was named after him, Jonestown. And it was located far into the jungle. It took 2 hours to get there. So the congressman and his aide and the reporters, they all went there. And they started to tour the town. And they found out that people wanted to go home with them. A guy named Richard Trop and some other families wanted all to leave. And this one guy, he was going to leave his wife there because she didn't want to leave, so he left her. And then they got on the truck and they started to go. And they went back to the airstrip where the airplane was waiting. And they brought 16 people who wanted to leave. And they all got off the truck and unloaded their stuff. And the reporters set up the cameras. And they gave the congressman an interview because someone tried to stab him the day before. So 5 of the ex-cult members got onto the small plane because that's all it could hold, and everyone else had to wait to get on the larger plane. And then a dump truck came and a tractor pulling a trailer pulled up about 300 yards away, and another truck pulled up with the police guy and the reporter, and the police guy had the only shotgun on the whole island except for the cult and stuff. And the cult members walked up and took his gun, and he got scared and so he walked away. And then the small plane started to take off, and then the guy started shooting, and then Charles the author ran behind the plane and jumped behind the tire, and someone landed on him and he rolled off because someone got shot, and he felt his hip burn and his tooth chip, and he knew he had been shot. He laid still hoping he wouldn't get shot again and die. But he had no blood coming out, so he knew he wouldn't die, but he didn't hear no gunshots. So then he didn't die, so he looked under his arm to see if it was all stopped, and it was. So then he ran toward the plane, but the door was locked, and he saw the cargo hatch was open. So then there was 2 reporters on the ground, a woman and a man, who both got shot, but they were still alive. So he grabbed the woman, and they jumped in the cargo hatch. And the plane, they turned it on, but it wouldn't work because it was all shot up and stuff. So then they ran into the jungle, and he looked back and he saw all these like reporters dead on the ground, and one had his brains all blown out and stuff. They were all like dead. I don't know. He later found the congressman dead, and the small plane finally took off with the 5 people. And the next day they all went back to Georgetown, Guyana, and then the day after that they flew back to Jonestown in a helicopter, and it looked like someone's like spread colored paper all over because all the shirts. And when they landed, Charles was the first one to go into the town, and he approached the Radio Shack and saw about 40 to 50 dead bodies, and most of the bodies were laying on their stomachs, had their arms around each other, and everything single.
I told you I didn't do anything.
By your graduation.
How you doing? Were you filming us in science?
Nope.
You weren't?
And don't change.
I'm sorry. No! Don't let him in, Leanna. Don't let him in.
Okay.
Are we going to find out our grades today?
No. I can give you a rough, just a rough. Just a rough.
Gregory.
Probably maybe B minus, C.
If I did it extra.
Yeah, well, like you did last time.
I'll get it.
Mr. Gregory.
No, I don't want to. Is it a flash?
No, it's not a flash.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay.
No, that's me.
Say, excuse me if you're a gentleman. I'm not sure you're a gentleman.
Ah! Get the video away.
Okay, there we go.
That looks cool.
No, don't even. I will break.
Where's my book? You got my book?
Don't ask the camera.
Here, Shan, let me tape. I like taping. I don't like being in the tapes. I just like taping.
Just like tape.
I just like taping. Stop taping.
Me?
Where's the little record button?
It's already on record.
Oh! Alright, I'm recording now. Cool. Hi, Rick. Oh. Snowhead.
That's gonna ruin.
Julie's gonna sit over there today.
Rachel! Rachel, get out of my seat! Julie!
Julie, you could come sit with us.
Yeah.
Leanna, smile.
Out of my seat.
Where's Chun?
Just reviewing again.
I have no idea.
Oh, she's with. There's Vanessa.
They took my seat, so I can't sit there.
How do you zoom?
Go tell them to move. You're on the
Right here, right here.
Hey,
You got your
move.
hand
You
in
have
the
to
spot.
sit. Who sits there? Oh.
Right where? Where's Zoom at?
I don't want to be on camera anymore, Crystal. Turn off this red light.
No, Jerry's.
I have powers recording. I can...
Right here.
Ernie and Chun, I see you. She's taping you guys. No hunky punky. Chun!
Ah! It's so scary, Julia. Actually, I'm gonna say that.
Oh, look at how cute. It was on Zoom.
Yeah, you're Steve.
Oh, no, you're fucking darn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here you go.
He has to see that, right?
Take a picture of her. She's
Well, let's have my grandma. Nobody has school or anything.
Look, hurry, take a picture. I didn't get nothing. That was wrong. Nice hair.
Hi, Rachel. Hi, Julie.
You were being taped. Oh, I don't like Dude, my hair. Whoa,
Gregory, say something encouraging.
No. Study.
Yeah, okay. Something will actually do it.
Hi, I'll smile now. I need my I know him too. I heard that the video can make you cry. No, I don't.
Don't do cameras.
I saw that.
What? Why don't you put them up there?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Stupid ass.
Say something encouraging.
Why? Let me see.
So you see, what he is doing here is creating a fluctuation pattern, which is
Senor Reese needs to get a clap.
We missed you yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finished in the middle.
Huh? Yeah.
Ow, you smashed my finger.
Come on.
Don't smash your finger.
I don't like that. Remember I told you.
How do you spell anyway? First. Right here. Here's Gregory. Oh, hi, first thing I did. She didn't ask me for her homework. First thing I did.
Can I have some piece of paper, please?
Browne, come on, let's go past it. Okay, now this is one of the most interesting chapters that I really hate the most. I really hate to teach it because it's called Byzantium, or the Byzantine Empire. What do we know about? The answer is almost nothing. What do we have with the, what interaction do we have with the Greeks? The answer is almost nothing, except about 20 years ago I got so mad because a little guy about this tall didn't get one, huh? Where'd you lay him down?
Marcus.
Little gave out 9. Where'd you want to lay him down?
Rick. Say hi.
She's like,
oh,
Jerry.
Emma.
Okay. About 20 years ago,
This is our 7th
a Greek really made me mad.
That's the
Let me
real
get
director.
following.
It's called history, not Spanish.
Now look, Visigoths, 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 the East Visigoths, or Ostrogoths, number 2. Now look here, Miss Vice Principal, they're all going to know. The Ostrogoths captured the country of... See, I'm sorry, they're really smart. They just...
Wait, captured the
they've all been
God?
rough today.
Captured the what?
O-S-T-O.
I got that.
The country.
Captured what? Italy. Oh.
The Ostrogoths captured.
She's gonna reduce my salary 20%. You've got to know. I'll do it this way. Watch.
Who's coming?
Hey, when you come to, if I ask you a question, Mark, look. Look. The Ostrogoths captured
Italy.
Now, what was it?
Italy.
See, she knows. See how smart she is? Okay. The French, the weenie people,
Just look and
captured
smile. Just like smile. Smile and nod. There you go.
France or Gaul.
Number 3.
Yeah. France or Gaul.
What?
France, same thing. Weenies, Franks, hot dogs, Franks, weenies. Weenies were named after the Franks. That's it. Now wait, I'll tell them. Shh, get ready. Students, you know where the name weenie comes from? From the Franks. That's only half-hearted laugh.
I don't get it.
Could be French. Okay, I'll pick it up 50% salary cut tomorrow.
What does it mean?
Okay, here we go. Angles, Saxons, and Jutes. Angles, Saxons, and Jutes went to
I wrote Frank.
France. Angles, Saxons, and Jutes went to England or Britain. You guys aren't paying attention, okay? We're going to have a test in about a day and a half on this, and you guys are talking. Don't do it, because we'll make it.
Chapter 8.
Don't worry about it. You just worry about my lecture, okay? I'm giving you the notes.
Anglo-Saxons and Jews.
And the next one, the Vandals went down to northern
Africa.
Why don't you people writing? Why aren't you all writing? Why aren't you? You're writing?
You just told us to write the Vandals.
Okay, let's see that. I'm trying to see that.
Wait, captured France?
Yeah. Okay.
And who captured Africa?
Okay.
Vandals.
North Africa. Okay, so we've got the, and finally the last one you need to remember is the very end, the Lombards, Lombards, came back and recaptured Italy. Lombards came back and captured Italy. Lombards, the Lombards.
We didn't learn that one.
Well, we didn't study too much about them because they come in at the very, very end. They even beat up their own people, the Ostrogoths, and captured. Okay, number 2. Okay, well, these are the notes from second hour.
That was
Each tribe, you can put this down someplace up in your wherever you have a space. Each tribe ran the country according to their own separate rules. Each tribe ran the country according to their own separate rules.
Each tribe.
So there was no longer a great, great, powerful Roman Empire. There was the Visigoths Empire, the Ostrogoths Empire, the Franks Empire, Angles Empire, Saxons Empire. They were all separate. They were weak, divided, little tiny countries. Okay, the next one, note you need to know on this is, all Germans became Christians. Remember to Wotan, Thor, Freya? They dropped the old German religion and they all became Roman Catholic Christians. Because the original religion was so unorganized. The Roman Catholic Church, if you're a Protestant and you've never been to a Catholic church, you've never seen an organized church. They have so many things inside their church. I'm a Protestant. I go inside a Catholic church and I go,
Oh, what? Separate rules.
here comes these guys out in these beautiful outfits. My preacher comes out in a suit and a tie. We've got old wooden benches in there, and I go, look at those beautiful stained glass windows. What's that? Well, that's the 4-box. What's that? That's the stations. I said, what's the stations? They got little guys come up, cute little guys lighting candles. Guys with big tall hats on. My preacher comes in with a suit and tie. Catholic Church has all these great rules that they go by and the beautiful procedures that Protestant says, when we start our church, we're not going to put that in our church. The only thing we want in our church is God, Jesus, and to sit there and hear somebody talk about it. The Catholic has these great rituals, beautiful rituals. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 4, Constantine moved the empire from Rome to where? Constantinople. He moved the empire from Rome to Constantinople. And remember the last part of Constantinople's N-I-P-O-L-A, Noble.
When did it change over to from Istanbul to Constantinople?
Well, wait just a second, let me go through this part. The next one has 3 names. One is Byzantium, B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-U-M, Byzantium. That's its first name, Byzantium. Name number 2, Constantinople. And guess who it was named after? Constantine the Great, the Roman Emperor. And name number 3, Istanbul, I-S-T-A-N-B-U-L, Istanbul, comma, Turkey.
I-S-T-A-N.
Yeah, Istanbul, just like it's phonetically goes. I-S-T-A-N-B-U-L, B-U-L, Istanbul, comma, Turkey. Students, one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
I think it's number 2.
It has 20 million people living there. You know how big it is? Phoenix has 2 million people, and it has 20 million people living there. So, can you imagine the size? The world's largest church is there. I'm afraid I always forget to tell a class about this because it's not hardly you know that much anymore, but when they built the big church, the Eastern Catholic Church in the city of Constantinople, he says, I want to build the largest church in the world. And let me tell you how big it is. On one occasion, during one of the great wars, one of the generals took his division, now that's 16 or 20,000 troops, put a division in the church and all their horses. And all their horses in that one church. Now, can you imagine the size of it? And this church is so weird. It's an Eastern Catholic church. The king and all of his family and all the royalty set up in the balcony, and there is a curtain that goes up about 12 feet high, and all the common people that go to the church there sit out on the booths out there, and the priests are behind the curtain at the level of 12 feet, and they start performing the services in this Eastern Catholic Church, and only royalty can see it. So somebody from the Western Catholic Church says, there's 10,000 people here at the church today, and only 500 can see what the priests are doing because they're up there, and the priests are doing behind this curtain. Why don't you let the other 10,000 see? Because they said they're not deserving. They said, but shouldn't all Christians see? They said, yes, but they are not worthy enough to see what's happening behind the curtain, so only nobility can see it. Isn't that the strangest answer you've ever heard? Now, you go to my church, you get so bored you don't want to sit. Because there's a guy up there talking for about 2 hours. Okay, so we've got this new organization, we're calling them the Byzantium Empire. They become Christians, and they move the capital, and the modern city is called Istanbul, Turkey. And it is the weirdest city in the world because over in one section there are 1 million people who belong to this nationality. Right here. You go another 5 or 10 miles, here's another nationality. You go another 5 or 10 miles, here's another nationality. Another city, another 5 or 10 miles, another nationality. And all over the city they're divided up by nationalities. Now, do you know any other place divided up by nationalities like that? New York City. The most dangerous city in the world besides Washington, D.C. And New York City at night, you don't go in. So Istanbul, Constantinople, Byzantium is exactly like that today. Now, do they intermingle? A tiny bit. Tiny bit. Do they intermarry? A tiny bit. Tiny bit. So there in Istanbul today, it's called the crossroads city of the world. What's the crossroads city of the world here in the United States? New York, probably.
Phoenix.
New York. Most immigrants come into New York City than any place else.
Oh, yeah?
Where do we have the largest Chinese population? New York City. Everybody says San Francisco, New York City. Where's the largest Puerto Rican? New York City.
Oh.
The largest Hispanic? New York City.
I thought it was L.A.
The largest Jamaican? New York City. The largest Jewish? Oh, no place comes close to New York State. That's the Jewish capital of the world. There are more Jews living in New York State than there is in the country of Israel. Isn't that strange? So, you ever get a chance to go to New York? It's a beautiful city in the daytime. Nighttime, I'm not sure about that. Now, last time I went up there, I loved it. I loved every second of it. Costs You better just put $2,000 or $3,000 in your pocket, stay there a week. It's a very expensive city. Very good. This is the time of the year that they turn on the lights at Rockefeller Center. You go ice skating and things like that. Go ahead. How did I get off of Constantinople, New York City? I don't know. Number 5. Okay. The term that we wanted to call this the Roman Empire East, and they didn't like the name. They want a new name. They go, what shall we call ourselves? Let's call ourselves the Constantinople Empire East. Let's call ourselves... There was a Greek man that came in this little city about 1,000 years ago. His name is Byzas, B-Y-R-U-S, Byzas. Let's name it our new empire after him. Let's call it the Byrus Empire. And that doesn't sound real good. Let's call it the Byzantine. That doesn't sound good. Let's call it the Byzantine. There we go. Let's call ourselves after that first Greek settler there. We're going to name our empire after him. So that's where they got their name. Now, here's the next 3 things you want to put down. What is the Byzantine Empire? 1, it's Roman law and government. 1, it's Roman law and government. 2, it's Christianity. 2, it's Christianity. But this is the strangest part of all. It is Greek by customs and by language, by customs. Wow. In Europe, we've got Asian influence. Example, students, is, tell me what this is. I'm going to draw for you a picture today. I'm going to take a big board. I've got thousands of pieces of broken glass or beautiful colored stones, and I'm going to start gluing on a board.
Stop.
What am I doing?
Right. Drawing.
No, I'm gluing little pieces of glass, colored glass, on a board.
Wow.
I'm going to make a design. So far, my design. Don't worry about what I'm going to make. Okay, these are the rest of the dots, okay?
Oh, yeah. That's a person.
And these are all little glued pieces of glass or rock. What do we call that, folks? Come on, somebody help me. Mosaic. Your mom probably did it. You probably all did it in 6th grade art or something like that. And the Romans look over and say, my God, what are you guys doing to your churches? And these Eastern Orthodox go, well, we've made these beautiful pictures on the walls of the ceilings of our church, and the Oriental people from Asia taught us if you glue all these millions of little pieces of glass together, you can make a design. And the Romans go, don't you see these beautiful statues over here that we're making? Don't you see these great things over here that we're making? You're supposed to make sculptures of men that look realistic. And the Greeks go, but aren't people supposed to be tall and thin and have droopy mouths and droopy eyes and bags under their eyes? The guys go, no, not at all. And all of a sudden they adopt this new type of drawing, of artwork called mosaics. All of a sudden they start making things called icons. They take these little pieces of tin and they draw these weird looking priests. Matter of fact, your book shows on page 178. Look at those pictures on 178 of those mosaics, everybody. Those are called icons and mosaics.
Okay, what?
Look at their faces.
Okay.
178. And there's some more back here on page. Look on page 172. Look how dreary looking they are. Look on 172. And the Romans are infuriated. They say, that's not artwork. Why are you guys copying off the Chinese, the Japanese, and the Indian people? You guys aren't Asians, you are Europeans. Is Constantinople, is it Asian or is it European?
Asian. No.
It's both. It's right on the border. 10 million live here, 10 million here. But Europe says, you guys are Europeans. You are superior. Remember the movie yesterday at the end? The guy taught the white guys from Europe how to make gunpowder. He says, look, this weapon, and the white guys go, what that called? He goes, well, you just light it here and it blows up. Remember the things that he taught the scope? The things about childbirth that he was showing these Europeans the first time? about midwifing that they didn't know. So the Asians had all these great things that the Europeans didn't know. But the most wonderful thing they had of all is etiquette. Now give me a definition of etiquette. Manners, perfect. Now, let's see who's going to have the best manners. Who's controlling all the great European countries now? Germans?
Yeah.
What did I tell you the Germanic tribes were like? What the main thing they want to do? Steal, kill, rob, and molest, and burn down. They're going to come in with their big, long, beautiful hair, their beautiful white faces, their beautiful blue and green eyes and red hair, and they're going to pillage everything. What kind of manners do you think those guys will have on those horseback? It's just who's the strongest takes over. Describe what happened to Constantinople at the end. 160,000 Turks, T-U-R-K-S, Ottoman, they're called Ottoman this time, O-T-T-O-M-A-N, Ottoman Turks attacked the city. You know this, for 4 years they surrounded the city. And 8,000 Christians defended the city. And Constantine the 11th was the commander of the Christians. So what chance do the Christians have in Constantinople? 160,000 to 8,000. And here's the last thing that Constantine said, if I can find my sword back here.
Okay.
Somebody from Spanish 2 stole my sword, looks like. Constantine's the Christian general. He's up on top of the last cities like this. Here's a city, here's a wall, here's a wall, here's a wall. Here come the Ottoman Turks. Here come the Christians, led by Constantine the 11th. And the last day of the battle, after 4 years of battle, and he was down to about 800, 900 troops. They'd killed all of his men. He raised his little sword up and he said, if I can't wake up in the morning and be the king over a Christian nation, then I want to die. He says, I'll fight to the last man. All of a sudden, about 200 Ottoman Turks, Muslims, by the way, came up with their curved sword. You seen the Hussein sword? Remember that? That's the kind of, and those are fabulous Damascus steel weapons. And man, they came up, and boy, here's poor old Constantine the 11th going, this is for Jesus, this is for Christ, this is for God, this is for Christianity. Whack, 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 whack. This is for Muhammad, this is for Allah, Allah. They cut poor Constantine to ribbons, killed every single Christian soldier. Now the Muslims own the last great part of the Christian nation. They say the Christian nation is dead. There is no longer a Christian nation over here. Long live Allah, long live Muhammad. Hazan, Hazan, Hazan. They are all dead. So they come in and burn the city again, steal everything, kill everybody. Now, is Christianity dead in the East? Looks like it. Germans have wiped out everybody over here. Anglo-Saxon Jews, help me right here. Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Franks, weenie people, and Vandals. This Christian empire is totally destroyed, and now the Turks have it. But somehow, some way, we're going to see that the Eastern Christians are going to come back and become even more powerful. As I told you yesterday, one example of that is Aristotle Onassis, married Jackie Kennedy, the richest man in the world. Those little Greeks have a way of coming back. They've been destroyed twice, totally destroyed twice now. And it looks like, to me, it's the end of the Greek society. The Byzantines are gone, Christians are gone, and the most horrible thing of all, one of the leaders built this great church here called Sogia Hagia, right here. And if you look in your book, you'll see a picture of the church. And they so desecrated that Christian church, they brought the army in after they captured and destroyed the Christian city there, Christian empire there. They brought their army in, including the horses. They that was their headquarters. Now, you know what the horses were doing to the church, don't you? Now, can you imagine how that made the Christians feel to see these Muslims coming in saying, okay, guys, bring your horses in. There's a stack of Bibles over there. Use those for horse toilet paper over there. There's where they keep the other parts for the church, Christian church over there, destroy it. See all those beautiful stained glass windows, tear them up. See all those beautiful mosaics, tear them up. See all those beautiful icons over there, tear them down. Where you can put pictures of Allah or Muhammad or whoever up right over there. Now, how would this make you feel? How do you think the Mexican people felt here when the white people came from over here, and this was all Catholic, all Spanish Catholic, and all of a sudden the white people started coming in from here saying, hey, we want your land. You Catholics, step aside. So the Byzantine Empire is gone. It's been destroyed. Looks like it's going to be wiped out forever. And the Christian church students have gone through some horrible times. Just think how these priests must have suffered here at the hands of the German invaders. Many of them had to go to the hills and become monks. Many of the women had to flee to the hills. What did they become? Nuns? What do they call those places where they live?
Nunneries?
Nunneries and a convent. Priests became monks. People became monks up in the mountains. That's why they built so many monasteries hidden up in the hills. In order to get away from the Germans. But the good thing about it, like I told you a couple of weeks ago, the women saved Christianity for the Western Roman Empire, because when you married the Germans, you had the child, you said, hey, I'm a Christian, I got to have the 7 sacraments. Says sacrament number 1 is the child has to be baptized. So I got to confirm the child, so I got to get a name. And who's that woman going to go to, that Roman Empire woman? She's going to go to the priest, isn't she? Can she make Thor go with her? You better. Because women usually can make a man do. So they're going to drag their German husband and say, hey, have you ever thought about joining the church? And Thor goes, no. Wotan. Tiwa. Freya. She's going to go down and talk to the priest for a while, will you? So the women saved civilization. You know how it makes me feel when I, as a teacher here, when I go around the school halls and I hear girls talking filthy, filthy gutter talk? You would think that the girls, you all are going to have to save civilization. You're going to have to get these guys and civilize them, because they're barbarians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see? Because look, you saved it here once, 1,000 years ago. Saved here once here 1,000 years ago. Now, over here in Ireland, the women from the Protestants and the Catholics got together and they marched down the streets of Dublin. They said, we don't want any more killing among the Protestants and Catholics. We Catholics are going to go knock on the doors of the Protestants. Hi, I'm a Catholic. Why are our husbands and our kids shooting each other?
What? Come here, boy. Hey, you better lock them on then. Cheap ass. Get that shit on my face.
Cool.
You're dumb.
It's the trauma.
Okay.
Let go of my butt! Quit, you faggot! Erica, come here! See here. Hello, excuse me. Excuse me, over here.
He's not happy with me.
Look how short she is. Isn't she short?
Yeah.
She's a good teacher, man. She's a pretty nice teacher. Yeah. What she wants to be.
She's into school spirit. Look at this. Yes, absolutely.
Kenny, wait for me.
No, you better hurry up.
No, Kenny, wait for me.
Oh, shit.
Kenny, don't run.
Can I turn this shit off?
get you some.
Is that camera rolling?
Yeah.
For real?
It's on, ain't it?
Don't say. California love, baby.
Exactly. Don't tempt me.
Suck. Get that shit off, people. Go film the show. Film the show. Film her. Hurry up.
Okay.
How do you erase your video?
What's your name? Yeah. Mary. I work with her a lot. Yeah. Oh no. Help yourself. Free information. Free keychains. If you'd like to. We don't have any of the red ribbon stickers today. I will ask Yvonne, she's the school nurse, because she may have some for Friday since it's World AIDS Day, and that's what the red ribbons.
During class, bring share an ice cream cone.
Yeah, help yourself.
Have you seen
Yo no le hago a la Lucía. Ahorita que lo pasen en la tele.
¿Cuánto se cuesta?
Medio litro, ¿cuánto me sacan? Medio litro. Una jeringa nomás, ¿verdad? Pero ¿cuánto litro? ¿Cuánto es el examen de SIDA?
¿Cuánto te sacan?
¿Cuánto sangre me sacan?
Bye.
A very big dragon. I was not lying. He's a very big dragon and he eats a lot of toothpaste. Okay, it will not burn. It won't burn, it will go out.
Stay here too, when you get it.
Okay, is this what you're going to videotape us doing?
Official. They usually give us more candy.
Yoda eating sticks.
Use the force.
Okay, I'm not recording.
Fix it, pull it out, pull it out.
You know what? You know how big this is? You know how much this makes me look pregnant?
Yeah.
I'm neat.
You guys get together or something.
Oh my phone!
Pete! Get together with her.
I'm not taking off your jacket. Not taking off.
Don't, please. I don't want to know.
Yeah, but that was
Alright, done yet.
What's that for? What's that for?
Video yearbook.
That's for the video yearbook?
What's it for, Z?
Ow. What are you supposed to be? To be like, for the whole school, right?
Yeah.
Alright, later. I have to fix my stomach.
No, look at him, look at him.
Hey, homie, record me,
Hello.
Laura!
Christina, read it.
I'm not going to beat the.
He's videotaping. Hello.
Because of Paul.
I don't think so. You can get my bullet hole, not me.
Guys, that's the time before I do it. Freaks over there now, man.
What the hell did you do?
What I do? Latex skin, man. 5 in the morning, I gotta do this. What appreciate you?
It's okay. She's coughing up blood. Oh, this is no. Go like this. Get your finger. Go.
She looks like she.
I had to get this thing out of my mouth.
Are you gonna die yet or something?
Hello.
How are you?
Freaks.
Oh, get on my bed first.
I don't see it.
Bed.
What's it look like? One time. No. What's it look like? It's small.
Hey, that's it.
No.
What?
Right here. Awesome. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh my God. I'm already on the freaking here, but get away. The man was white. I took pictures, so get away.
Waited in there.
Oh. Vanessa, you're so hot. I feel like a cow. So
We're not gonna say nothing.
You feel like a cow.
you shut up. Yeah, he's not a cow.
Fuck that nigga destroyed. What up? Record me. What's up?
Boo.
Sylvia, here we go. That's so good. Hello. I'm busy working again, as you can see, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. What else do I tell you?
Nothing, because it's not gonna be any sound.
Bye.
No.
Okay.
This is well, you have to get close enough to get the nose ring.
Zoom in on
Yeah.
her. Zoom in on her so you can see the nose ring.
And you have to see my stockings. My stockings are really.
Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good. You can tell it's Halloween, right?
They probably won't say it's Halloween.
That's right. They'll think we look like this all the time.
It's every day.
It's my cats.
And Marianne's.
Oh, and I'm from the Twilight Zone.
We need both of us to.
I'm from the Twilight Zone.
Absolutely.
We're the bad math teachers.
We put a hex on
Get the pumpkin.
Don't cross the screen.
You fool! You're getting closer to the vortex.
All right. Well, I'm working. Hello. Is there anything particular you'd like me to do?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing, huh?
The Grim Reaper set off the alarm. I got it all on tape.
That's original.
Oh, no, come on, guys.
Cameras!
It's the husband look.
The husband look.
My husband.
You don't know this. He doesn't know this. Okay, I just had to get him to go.
Bone to pick with him. Get rid of the foot.
Okay.
Let's see, go sit. Come on, Jack, let's go.
Hey, let's start, dude.
Carney.
So it must belong to my great grandfather.
Carney. Show it over here.
sharper impetus.
Listen, man.
Oh. Gotta go. Whoa!
Oh, Daddy.
I know.
Everybody says like this.
Watch it just miss. I scared them on Saturday night. We had a costume party to go to. Guys.
Third person.
If I bump into anything, it's your fault, you know that.
John Jimenez. 135. 160, Jason Wagner. 171, Daniel Lewis. 215, Let's give the athletic team.
I always knew he was cute, but I never knew how far he'd really go.
For your leadership, great, wonderful. Thank you. Have a great holiday. Please go for 4th grade. 4th grade. Thank you so much.
Just because.
It zooms in real good.
I'm surprised.
Is ditching school, as you can see right now. She's
As
on her
we
way
are.
to the famous Circle K.
Which you can't see right now.